Hello everybody, this is Kyle out of Course for Draft Radio, trying something a little different with you today. Don't worry, this will not be a certain thing that like replaces our drafts, but I thought it'd be cool to do, show you another drafting website that I like to use when I'm not on Tapped Out and I just want to kind of grind out some drafts by myself. Bestiary, as it is known, is a fun little free little internet resource that you can use, and I thought it'd be kind of cool for us to do a Khans of Tarkir Crack-a-Pack for those of you that might not necessarily have like 40 minutes to an hour to commit to an entire video. I thought we could do a Crack-a-Pack, and you guys can comment on the video and see if how you would have taken the pick. We could go over what cards are dominant in a certain pack, and yeah, we'll keep it short, we'll keep it simple, we'll keep it sweet. If it goes over really well, I might do more of these. If it doesn't go over very well, well, no harm, no foul. Just like I say in the stream, I'm willing to try anything once. Also, as a sidebar, before we begin, I apologize for my voice. I'm getting a little stuffed up. There's like a cold going around where I go to school, so not to be afraid, Draft Radio faithful. I will pull through this terrifying illness. But with further ado, the Khans of Tarkir Crack-a-Pack. Alright, now we've got ourselves a pretty decent pack so far. Windswept Teeth, if this is a real draft and you need some fetch lands, by all means. I'm not one for money drafting, but let's be honest here. Fetch lands are important, especially if you want to crack into Modern and other things of that nature. This is an interesting pack, though, because while our rare, there's no bomb rare, and it does kind of force us to choose between a lot of multicolor options and then a lot of options that aren't necessarily all that solid. There are certainly a few cards that I'd like to talk about, and then I'll tell you what I would have picked out of the pack, and we can continue to debate that on the comment section of the video. Bear's Companion is one of the standout cards for me. While I'm not the hugest fan of the Teamer archetype, Bear's Companion is one of those cards that you want to put you into the Teamer archetype. 6 power and 6 toughness across 2 bodies for 5 mana is huge. It's really, really nice. Plus, if you have any other way of like bouncing this guy back to your hand or getting him from the graveyard or anything really, you can just kind of abuse this ability. And I've never met somebody who's had Bear's Companion like resolve twice that didn't have an easier time winning the game. So that's certainly something to talk about here. Scaldkin is also a great card. While a 4-mana 2/2 flyer certainly isn't anything to write home about, a 4-mana 2/2 flyer with a relevant off-color ability is. Although, again, this is a card that I evaluate much more highly in like a blue-red archetype. So again, if you are playing Teamer or Jeskai, Scaldkin is worth a lot more than if you were playing, say, a Sultai deck. Speaking of Sultai, there are 2 great Sultai cards in the pack. There's an Abomination of Goodle. I hope I'm saying that right, which I like quite a bit, both as like a nice little easy morph card, but also as a 6-drop. Really lets you get that siphoning going on, and a Sultai Scavenger, which is a card that has impressed me quite a bit in the drafts that I've been doing, and in what I've heard from other people about how it's performed. Generally speaking, even though it costs 6 mana with Delve, even if you don't have dedicated ways of getting cards from the top of your deck into the graveyard, most of the time Sultai Scavenger is going to hit the field for 4 mana, sometimes even 3 mana, pretty regularly. So, certainly an awesome card to talk about. There's also an Active Treason for those of us that are going into a more aggressive strategy. If you're playing a really super aggressive Mardu deck, or if you're doing like a Jeskai sort of blow 'em out deck, this is not a terrible card to pick up. There's also War Behemoth and Woolly Loxodon, 2 solid morph cards. I think the pick for us is going to be between the Bear's Companion and the Sultai Scavenger. And I'll be honest with you guys, I feel as if these 2 cards are tied in power level. And this pick comes down a lot to preference. If you are okay with going in with a risky strategy, you feel like Bear's Companion's a good call, you don't mind maybe having your mana be a little bit more on the difficult side of things, by all means pick up the Bear's Companion. It's by far and away the most powerful card in this pack, I think. But if you go with the more consistent strategy and you're a little nervous about it, you would pick the Sultai Scavenger. I know for me, I haven't tried the Teamer archetype. I feel at this point I would probably pick up Bear's Companion on the sole basis that I would want to try Teamer, and this is certainly a card that you would like to use. If you're in the Teamer archetype, it's certainly one of those cards that would not force you into that archetype, but encourage you to play Teamer. Although I think having taken out the, I suppose, the innovative factor of taking Bear's Companion and trying something new, the safe pick is Sultai Scavenger. So as I said, guys, that's it for this Crack-a-Pack. Again, just something short, sweet, something to do for you guys if you want to, just test your drafting ability, but you don't have time for a whole hour-long video. Feel free to agree or disagree with me in the comments. I'd love to start a discussion on Khans in particular. So far, I'm absolutely freaking in love with this set. I think the design team did an amazing job, and it's been a ton of fun to draft. So until next time, folks, I am Kyle Ott for Draftradio. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, it never has to be in that order. And I will see all of you fine people later.